Hello everyone and welcome to this week's game development log video diary, and this week I've been working on saving and loading world files. So when you start up the game now, it will automatically load up the last world that you saved, so if you want you can just continue on with the world that you were working on straight away. In the main menu you can see that I've added quite a few new options here, and although the functionality of these options is all working, I still have a little bit of work to do on the user experience side of things. For example, when I click on the save button, it doesn't appear that anything has happened, but it does actually save the world that you're working on. This was the first thing that I worked on this week, and when you save your world, it gets exported into a save file, which is in a binary format. For the terrain, because it's procedurally generated, I only have to write a single integer to the file, and this is the seed value which is used to procedurally generate the world. I then write the number of entities to the file, followed by the data for each entity in the scene, which at the moment is just the ID of the model that the entity uses, and then the position, rotation and scale of the entity. Back in the main menu, you can see that there's also now an option to start a new world, and clicking on this will save the old world, generate a completely new random terrain, and also create a new save file for this new world. If you want to load up a world that you've previously saved, you can go into the main menu and click on this load world option, which takes you to this screen here, and this is all very temporary at the moment. I'm sure I'll be completely redoing these GUIs at some point, but for now you've got these 3 save slots. So the first one was that first world that I saved earlier, the second slot is the current empty world, and the third save slot is empty. So I'll click on save 1 to load up that first world again, and obviously I need to add a loading screen for this bit, but once it's finished loading it drops you back into the game, and you can see that the world is in exactly the same state as when we left it, with all the entities in their correct positions. Well, almost. There are actually a couple of things that get lost in the saving loading process, and that's mainly because all entities get loaded up as simple static entities, so the special entities are no longer treated as such, so the sheep no longer bounce around and the fir trees no longer grow. I haven't worried too much about fixing this yet because next week I'm going to be working on a component-based architecture for the entities, so they're going to have to be loaded up and saved in different ways anyway. Also this week I worked on a cache system for entity models to make sure that models are only loaded up when they need to be. When an entity is created, it can request its model from the cache using the model's ID. If the model has already been loaded, then the cache simply returns it, otherwise it first loads up the model, adds it to the cache and then returns it. The cache also keeps track of how many times each model is being used in the scene, and when this number gets down to 0, the model is removed from the cache and deleted from memory. Finally this week, just a couple of little extra things, so when you run the game it no longer just shows a black screen while it's loading, it now shows the ThinMatrix logo fading in and out, and I also finally managed to pretty much fix the glitchy water edges which I showed in last week's behind the scenes devlog video. So that is it for this week. Before I finish I need to give a massive thank you to the top Patreon supporters from last month, and this time they were Dan A, Ivan, Crazy Red, Danny D, Jerry Bradshaw, Crazy Rusky, Noah Korth and Justin. If you want to see more updates about Equilinox during the week, you can follow me on any of my social media pages. All of the links are in the description below. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next time.